Ellie Phantastic. Ellie Phantastic was the biggest elephant in the world and the very nicest. She lived in the biggest park in the world. The one person who loved Ellie Phantastic best was Tina. Tina was the littlest girl in the world. She lived in the smallest house in the world and one of the prettiest. Every afternoon, Tina went to see Ellie Phantastic. The littlest girl in the world and the biggest elephant in the world had long conversations. Tina would wave her hand and say, "Ellie Phantastic, how are you today? And how is your sciatica? A little better, I hope?" Ellie Phantastic would raise her trunk and trumpet, "I'm very fine indeed. And how are you, Tina? How are all your children? Did your youngest doll take her medicine as she should?" One day, some men came to take Ellie Phantastic away from the park. They wanted to sell her. This meant that the biggest elephant in the world would never see the littlest girl in the world again. And they would never again talk together, laugh together, and be friends. The men came and put Ellie Phantastic in a big truck. The big truck drove off down the road. Tina cried and cried because Ellie Phantastic was going away. And Ellie Phantastic cried too, but her tears were too little to see because Ellie was so big. The truck went on and on. Ellie would not look at the trees or houses or people. She just stood and looked sad. After a long time, the truck began to slow down. It was slowing down because it was coming to an underpass. An underpass is a bridge where the train runs over the road and the road runs under the bridge. It wasn't a very big underpass, not nearly big enough for the biggest elephant in the world. And Ellie was exactly that. When Ellie saw how small the underpass was, she made herself taller and bigger. The men stopped the truck close to the underpass. They didn't know how to get through. They poked at Ellie Phantastic and scolded her, trying hard to make her lie down so that they could get through the underpass. But Ellie only lifted her trunk, took a deep breath, and grew bigger and bigger. Everyone watched. Cars slowed down, and people looked and laughed because the elephant couldn't get through the underpass. No one could get Ellie through that underpass. So finally, there was nothing to do but turn around and take Ellie Phantastic back home to the most beautiful park in the world. And back there was Tina, the littlest girl in the world. She was waiting for Ellie Phantastic, the biggest elephant in the world. Ellie told Tina the story, and Tina laughed and laughed. She said, "Ellie Phantastic, you must be made of elastic."